Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a system that is, honestly, so efficient it almost feels like cheating. We're going to tear down highly structured automated workflow known as the Digital Gap Analyzer. I'm going to show you exactly how to automate highly personalized lead generation securely, cost-effectively, and entirely on your own infrastructure using the open source automation platform N8N and local AI. If you want to stop leaving revenue on the table and start building truly intelligent systems, you are absolutely in the right place.
Okay, let's quickly map out the blueprint for today. We're looking at 1. The generic outreach problem. 2. The digital gap analyzer. 3. Automated discovery and scraping. 4. AI pain point analysis. 5. Cloud APIs versus local AI. And finally, 6. The complete automated pipeline. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the generic outreach problem, or why outreach is failing today.
I want you to really reflect on this for a second. Why are agencies struggling so much with generic outreach right now? Like, why are conversion rates hitting rock bottom, while the sheer manual effort required for traditional prospecting seems to be going through the roof? It's a massive roadblock that is actively slowing down growth.
Our sources highlight some very specific bottlenecks plaguing sales teams right now. Think about the countless hours your team wastes just, manually copy-pasting contact details from LinkedIn into a giant spreadsheet. And then there are those bloated monthly SaaS API subscription fees you pay just to enrich that data, fees that seem to multiply way faster than your actual leads. Plus, when you rely on generic, non-personalized messaging, you absolutely get low conversion rates. And even when you do land a lead, handing it off to your CRM usually requires even more manual follow-up. This manual cycle is slow, it's ridiculously expensive, and frankly, it leaves a huge amount of revenue on the table.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Digital Gap Analyzer, automating your lead gen.
Let's look at how this builds. The N8N automation engine we're exploring operates in 4 really fundamental stages. First up, multi-source search and capture, so scouring the web for relevant businesses. Second is deep dive website scraping, where the system actually visits those sites to pull the raw HTML. Third, we hit intelligent AI analysis, which is absolutely where the magic happens. And finally, sync to Sheets and CRM, ensuring your data is perfectly organized without a single human click. Now, the strategic brain of this whole operation is this idea of the digital gap. See, the AI isn't just mindlessly skimming text, it's actually acting as an auditor, actively hunting for critical missing business components. Think, an absent booking system on a local clinic's website, right? By finding this digital gap, the workflow creates a highly targeted, super compelling sales angle for your outreach. You're no longer just saying, hey, buy my service. You're saying, hey, I noticed your website is missing a booking system, and I can actually fix that. It's a total game changer.
All right, Section 3, automated discovery and scraping. Scraping at scale.
So how does it start? Well, the whole process kicks off with an N8N HTTP request node. Think of N8N as the orchestration layer, or the conductor of the orchestra. It queries local businesses using the Serper API. And once it finds relevant targets, the workflow just automatically navigates to their URLs and scrapes the raw HTML of their websites. There is zero manual intervention here. It's literally like having a tireless scraping agent working around the clock. And take a look at the exact data points being extracted during this scraping phase. We're grabbing business names, URLs, primary emails, contact phone numbers, social media links, and importantly, that raw HTML content. Our sources point out that by using custom code nodes right inside N8, you can parse all this scraped website data flawlessly, so you're left with perfectly clean data, totally ready for the next step.
Moving on to Section 4, AI pain point analysis, finding the gap.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the prompt structure itself. We're literally instructing a local Llama 3.1 model to act as a business auditor, analyze the provided HTML text to identify specific missing digital components, like a booking system. By feeding it that raw HTML we just scraped, the AI generates incredibly precise, actionable pain points on the fly. It's evaluating their digital presence in real time to hand your sales team the exact ammunition they need.
And I really want to emphasize this number right here, 0. That is exactly how many dollars you pay in monthly API subscription fees when you pass this dynamic data to a local instance of a Llama running Llama 3.1. Because the model is running locally on your own hardware, you completely bypass the paper token costs associated with those big cloud AI providers. $0.
Which naturally leads us into Section 5, Cloud APIs vs Local AI,
Let's compare the options.
When you stack these two up, the differences are pretty stark. With cloud APIs like GPT-4o, you've got paper token fees, which, let's be honest, can absolutely skyrocket at scale. Local AI? Like we just said, $0 in API fees. Then there's privacy. Cloud APIs force you to share your data with third parties, but local AI is 100% private. The sensitive lead data, the raw text, it never leaves your machine. It never touches a third-party server. The only real trade-off is that local AI does require some dedicated RAM or VRAM on your hardware, whereas cloud APIs have super low local hardware requirements.
So ultimately, this boils down to a fundamental choice: renting AI intelligence versus owning AI infrastructure. Renting means your costs just scale up the more leads you process. Owning self-hosted models means you have some fixed hardware costs up front, sure, but you get infinite, essentially free scaling long-term. For a high-volume lead generation pipeline, owning your automation engine is just dramatically more efficient over time.
All right, final piece of the puzzle, Section 6, the complete automated pipeline, bringing it all together.
So the crucial takeaway here is the sheer speed of this automation. Check this out. At 0 seconds, we trigger the Serper API. By second 5, we've scraped the website and extracted the HTML. By second 15, our local Llama 3.1 model has finished a complete pain point analysis. And by second 30, the workflow deduplicates the record and syncs a fully enriched, highly targeted lead directly into Google Sheets or your CRM. The whole shebang? Under 30 seconds for the entire cycle.
I mean, it completely changes the game, right? Think about it. If your targeted lead generation runs securely, processing literally hundreds of prospects at zero API cost while you sleep, what will your sales team achieve tomorrow? When they log on in the morning, their pipeline is already full of enriched leads with clearly identified digital gaps, primed and ready for targeted outreach. The potential here is absolutely massive. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer on the Digital Gap Analyzer.